it's Meg. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a junk journal with me for day 3 of the Junk Journal January challenge. Today over in the collaboration as well, we have Barbara from 49 Dragonflies who is sharing her take on today's prompt, which is stained. So when I put this together, my immediate thought was coffee and tea staining, which is something I do a lot if you've watched my junk journal with me before. It's something that's so simple and yet it adds such depth to your journal pages. It can help make things look cohesive and it's just really fun to do. It's a great way to repurpose especially tissue paper, as long as you're careful, because I have ripped many a sheet of tissue paper doing this. But you know, when you get it in packaging, maybe you've bought shoes, you get like so much tissue paper when you buy shoes. It's just a great way to make that boring white tissue paper something that melts into the page, I guess is the best way to describe it, especially if you are using it in a way that you're layering things on your page. That's my favorite way to do this. So that's how I approached this prompt of stained. Of course, there's lots of different ways that you can interpret this. You can do colorful staining. I mean, I always stick to my neutral tones, but of course there's like stained glass windows. You could do so many different things with vibrant colours to mimic stained glass windows. You could also experiment with maybe different types of stainings. There are lots of videos on YouTube as well about eco dyeing and dyeing with natural materials, and that's a great way that you could add some different stains to your journal pages and then create elements maybe to go on your page or to stain the page itself, because of course you could apply something to the background, or you could be working on a bit of ephemera and then add it in. You could even do like a sample page, so maybe you could think, right, I've got like 10 boxes on my page or something like that, and you could then go around and think about like how many different things can you experiment with to create like stains and dyes and things like that on your page. And you could experiment with maybe how much water you're using or the papers that you're actually applying these materials to. So for example, tissue papers, book pages, newspaper, recycled packaging, the list goes on. There's so many different ways that you could approach this, and I think sometimes there's almost a pressure to create like a finished spread, and it is fun to do like a finished journal page for a challenge like this, but there's different ways that you can approach it. You know, you could just be making like tags or ephemera to go in a journal at a later date. You could also just use it as a way of experimenting and have it almost more of a logbook, if you will, that kind of documents the different techniques that you're trying, because it's just a way to kind of push your creativity this month and try new things. So after I added my tissue paper to this page, I then decided that I wanted to add lots of layers to this to create more definition on my page. So I added some scraps of book pages, and then I'm coming in again with another layer of the tea staining, or I think this is actually coffee, just to build up those layers and create that depth on my page. I'm also adding a bit of white paint here just to help things blend in. I think this is just becoming one of my favorite things to do, so I hope you don't mind seeing me do it a lot in this journal, but I'm really having fun with it. At this point, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't sure what to do next. I'd created my like textured stained background, and I knew I wanted to add something as a focal point, an image in the foreground, but I wasn't really sure what to do. So what I did was I grabbed my Junk Journal Junk Journal July journal. I'm getting them so confused. And I decided to have a bit of a flick through it and see what I could find for some inspiration. So this page is kind of similar to one that I did in July, but it was something that I really enjoyed, and so I just decided, you know what, there's nothing to stop me doing it again. So it just gave me a bit of that spark that I needed to figure out what I wanted to do. So, and it still got me creating for the day, which is the main part of this challenge, if you will. So I decided to go for this floral image here, and the green is actually like really neon green. I don't know if it's just in contrast with the like earthy deep green that I've got as my cover of this journal, but it was the perfect little addition to this page, and I just decided to kind of overlap it there between some of the sections, because it's interesting looking back at this now. I can see that I unconsciously divided the page into thirds. You know, when they always talk about the golden rule of 3 and how it kind of works on a composition. I didn't even realise I did that until I'm just looking back at it now.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's grey outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. How come the trees gets undressed when it's cold? And don't they miss the leaves they left behind? Could it be to make the ground shine like gold until winter comes? Until winter comes, until winter comes. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Oh, I just wonder. Makes me wonder. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Ooh, it makes me wonder.
I wanted to add these little cards that I had coffee dyed to this page, and I've left this in so you can see all of my mistakes because I loved that green. I really wanted to add it onto this page, and I stuck it down before I then did a terrible stamping job with these stamps, and so I had to peel it up because part of me wanted to just roll with it and kind of accept the mistake, but I just couldn't stop looking at it, so I had to take it off, and I then did it onto the like cream version. And I learnt my lesson. I didn't stick it down. I decided to stamp on it first, and they came out fine, and I was much happier with this. So I just added that as a finishing touch, just to kind of add a date space to this page. Might come back and add some journaling, but honestly I'm happy with how this has turned out, and I hope you enjoyed following along with me again for this journal with me. As always, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Bye guys.